Hello children. Today we will be learning class 7 chapter 10 The expansion of the Maratha power. Let's begin. At the beginning of the Maratha War of Independence, the Mughals were on the offensive whereas the Marathas were on the defensive. This situation, however, was reversed at the end of the War of Independence. The Mughals were thrown on the defensive against the Marathas. In the latter half of the 18th century, the Marathas subdued the Mughals and extended the Maratha power to cover practically the whole of India. We shall study this in the present chapter. Release of Shahu Maharaj. After the death of Emperor Aurangzeb, there ensued a struggle among his sons for the throne of Delhi. Prince Azam Shah was in the south. At once he marched towards Delhi to seize the imperial throne. Prince Shahu was in his captivity. Azam Shah believed that if Shahu Maharaj was released, there would arise a conflict between him and Maharani Tarabai for the gaddi of the Maratha Chhatrapati. Azam Shah felt that this would sap the Maratha strength and therefore released Shahu Maharaj. Coronation of Shahu Maharaj. Immediately after his release, Shahu Maharaj marched towards Maharashtra. He was joined by some Maratha Sardars, but Maharani Tarabai did not accept his claim to the throne. The armies of Shahu Maharaj and Maharani Tarabai fought a battle of Khed on the bank of the Bhima. Shahu Maharaj won the battle. He captured Satara. He got himself crowned. Satara became the capital of the Maratha kingdom. For a while, the mutual opposition between Maharani Tarabai and Shahu Maharaj continued. Maharani Tarabai proclaimed her minor son Shivaji II as the Chhatrapati at Pahamala in 1710 CE. This gave rise to an independent Maratha kingdom at Kolhapur besides the one at Satara. The early part of Shahu Maharaj's life was spent in Mughal camps, so he had seen Mughal politics from close quarters. He knew the finer points of Mughals and especially North Indian politics. He knew the strengths and weaknesses of the Mughal empire very well. Also, he was acquainted with the influential people in the Maratha court. All these factors helped him in deciding the new direction of Maratha politics in the changing circumstances. Aurangzeb's successors had given up his policy of destroying the Maratha power, so the Maratha adapted a new policy. Instead of fighting with the Mughal power, they decided to protect it and expand their own empire in that role. They believed that restoring an old temple is as good as building a new one. The Mughal power faced the threat of the Irani and Afghani invaders from the northwest and also of the local Pathan, local Rajput, Jat and Rohilla's rulers. The internal competition and tussle in the court had also weakened the Mughal power. Due to all these, the Delhi court needed the help of the Marathas. Balaji Vishwanath. After Shahu Maharaj was released by the Mughals, he made Balaji Vishwanath a Peshwa Balaji, hailed from Shivardhan in Konkan. He was competent and experienced. He convinced many Sardars that Shahu Maharaj was the real heir of the Maratha Empire and made them join hands with him. Kanhoji Angre was the chief of Maratha navy. He chose to side with Maharani Tarabai and attack the territories of Shahu Maharaj. This gave a rise to a difficult situation under these circumstances. Shahu Maharaj sent Balaji to fight against Kanhoji Angre. Balaji avoided the war and won Kanhoji over to Shahu Maharaj's side. Chauthai and Sandesh Mukhi writes, after strengthening the position of Shahu Maharaj in Maharashtra, Balaji turned his attention to the politics in the north. The Delhi court after the death of Emperor Aurangzeb was marked by bickering and confusion. The Sayyid brothers Abdullah Hassan and Hussein Ali had become very influential. With their help, in 1719 CE, Balaji obtained from the Mughal emperor the grants or sanads to collect Chauthai and Sardesh Mukhi from the Mughal territory in the Deccan. These sanads gave the Marathas the right to collect 1/4 part Chauthai and 1/10 part Sandesh Mukhi of the revenue from the Mughal territory in the Deccan. Baji Rao I. After the death of Balaji Vishwanath, Shahu Maharaj appointed Balaji's son Baji Rao I the Peshwa in 1720 CE. He expanded the Maratha Empire during his term of 20 years. Nizam's defeat at Palkhed. The Mughal Emperor Farrukh Sir appointed Nizam ul Mulk the Subedar of Deccan. In 1713 CE, Nizam tried to establish his separate existence at Hyderabad. The emperor had given the Marathas the right to recover Chauthai Sardesh Mukhi from the Mughal areas. Nizam was against it. He captured some parts of the Pune Pargana. Baji Rao decided to checkmate the Nizam. He defeated the Nizam at Palkhed near Aurangabad. The Nizam accepted the Maratha right to collect Chauthai Sardesh Mukhi. As the Mughal power had become weak, Baji Rao knew that there was more scope to expand the empire towards northern side. Shahu Maharaj supported this policy. Malwa. Malwa in today's Madhya Pradesh was part of the Mughal Empire. Baji Rao sent Malhar Rao Holkar, Ranoji Shinde and Uddaji Pawar under the leadership of his brother Chimaji Appa to Malwa. There they strengthened the posts. Bundelkhand. Bundelkhand means some part of today's Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, areas around Jhansi, Panna and Sagar. King Chhatrasal had established his own kingdom in Bundelkhand. The Mughal Subedar Muhammad Khan Bangush of Allahabad attacked Bundelkhand and had defeated Chhatrasal. Chhatrasal appealed to Baji Rao for help. Baji Rao took a large army and went to Bundelkhand. He defeated Bangush. Chhatrasal honored Baji Rao. This is how Marathas established their supremacy in Malwa and Bundelkhand. Baji Rao demanded from the emperor the office of the Subedar of Malwa. As the emperor declined this demand, Baji Rao marched on Delhi in 1737 CE. The Mughals were taken by surprise. The Battle of Bhopal. The emperor felt uneasy on account of Baji Rao's Delhi expedition. He invited the Nizam to protect Delhi. Nizam marched against Baji Rao with his huge army. Baji Rao defeated him at Bhopal. Nizam agreed to secure the Sanad of Malwa Subedari for the Marathas from the Badshah. The defeat of Portuguese. The territories of Vasai and Thane on the Konkan coast were in the possession of the Portuguese. The Portuguese rulers oppressed their subjects. Baji Rao sent his brother Chimaji Appa to subdue the Portuguese. Chimaji conquered Thane and the adjacent areas. In 1739 CE, he laid siege to the Vasai fort. The fort was very strong. The Portuguese had a powerful artillery. In spite of all this, Chimaji continued the siege with perseverance and forced the Portuguese to surrender. The fort of Vasai and large parts of the Portuguese territory passed into the hands of the Marathas. Death of Baji Rao. Nadir Shah, the Emperor of Iran, invaded India. Following the orders of Shahu Maharaj, Baji Rao set out for the north with a big army to defend the Mughal power. By the time he reached Burhanpur, Nadir Shah had returned to Iran with an enormous booty looted from Delhi. In April 1740, Baji Rao breathed his last at Raverkhedi on the banks of the Narmada. Baji Rao was a great general. With his valor, he established the Maratha supremacy in the north. He won status for the Maratha power as a formidable power in the whole of India. In his time, the Shinde, Holkar, Pawar, Gaikwad families attained prominence. Thank you, children. That's all for today. Please make sure you watch the video again and also read your textbooks for better understanding. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have.